The Secret Side of Sir Isaac Newton. Nearly all of the things we observe in daily life are related to the famous laws of Sir Isaac Newton. However, the 17th century scientist had a hidden side, which is little known to the world. Newton was never able to meet his father, who perished 3 months before his birth on Christmas Day 1642 in the English village of Woolsthorpe Manor. He was born prematurely and was so little that it was said he could fit inside a quart-sized coffee cup. When Newton was 3 years old, his mother remarried and relocated to a neighboring village to live with a wealthy clergyman. Newton was abandoned and placed in his grandparents' custody, which left him traumatized. He was an inquisitive youngster who was more concerned with mechanics than making friends. He even carved a sundial, as a 9-year-old. He began attending a local grammar school when he was 12 years old. His mother attempted to have him drop out of school after his stepdad passed away so he could become a farmer, a possibility he detested. Fortunately, the teacher persuaded his mother to send him back to school, where he learned the skills required to enroll in the University of Cambridge in 1661 and support himself by working as a valet. The bubonic plague struck Europe shortly after he earned his bachelor's degree in 1665, and it took the lives of an estimated 1 out of every 4 individuals in London. Because of the epidemic, Newton had to spend the following 2 years working from his childhood home, which helped him make some of his most incredible discoveries. He used a prism to find that white light and sunshine are composed of all the colors of the rainbow. Aristotle's opinion that color was a mixture of black and white was widely accepted at the time. In order to demonstrate his idea, Newton constructed a reflecting telescope that relied on mirrors rather than lenses, producing a more precise image. That's a lot safer than when he once inserted a sewing needle into his eye socket to test whether changing the shape of his eyes would affect how he saw color. Additionally, there was the renowned apple tree outside the house. According to legend, Newton was seated beneath a tree when an apple struck him in the head, inspiring him to consider the concept of gravity. While there is no proof that the fruit truly landed on his head, he did pose the crucial question, could the same force extend all the way to the moon? His answer helped us grasp the cosmos. He reasoned that the same gravitational attraction that held the moon in orbit around Earth instead of letting it stray may also explain how our planets travel around the solar system. In order to calculate the velocity of these things at the time, mathematicians lacked the level of expertise to do so, thus Newton created his own type of calculus. But the main question of dispute arose over who actually invented calculus. In 1684, German mathematician Gottfried Leibniz released his paper on calculus, while Newton said he had completed the same work 20 years earlier. The problem was that Newton was so secretive that he never made his efforts public since he couldn't endure the scrutiny of his work. When Leibniz petitioned the Royal Society in London, Newton used his position as president of the scientific institution to persuade it to support him. According to the majority of historians, the two independently discovered calculus. After the epidemic had passed in 1667, he went back to the university to resume his study as a fellow. He received one of the most esteemed academic positions in the world just 2 years later, while he was still in his mid-20s. Yet he was indifferent to his students. He is believed to have given a lecture in front of an empty room once when no one showed up for class. But, his true passion lay in research. In 1687, he published his masterpiece, often referred to simply as Principia, which is one of the most important works ever written. Even though Newton is regarded as one of the world's finest physicists, his contributions to religion were greater. By carefully studying the holy writings, Newton thought he could foretell the future and that the Bible offered the secret to the natural universe. He predicted that the end of the world will occur around 2060. He predicted a time of conflict and disaster, which would be followed by Christ's second coming and the start of a brand new, divine age. Up until 1936, when Sotheby's auctioned off his theological works, his religious side remained mostly hidden from the public. He spent 25 years researching alchemy in secret while he looked for a way to transmute base metals into gold. Unfortunately, all that time spent in the lab may have exposed Newton to mercury poisoning. After his demise, tests on his hair revealed significant concentrations of the lethal substance, which experts believe may have contributed to his mental collapse in 1693, when he lost his sense of reality. He suffered from insomnia and depression, which lasted around 1.5 years. Another unpleasant argument featured the talented scientist Robert Hooke, who claimed to have given Newton the idea that inspired his theory of gravity and wanted credit. As a result, Newton is accused of misusing his position as president of the Royal Society by removing Hooke's only known picture. During a royal visit to Cambridge University in 1705, Queen Anne of England knighted him and gave him the title Sir Isaac Newton. On March 20, 1727, Newton passed away peacefully and was buried in Westminster Abbey. His timeless legacy continues to shape our current world.